Using music to build bridges between people, that's what a joint Singapore-Australian ensemble aims to do. It's called Bridges Collective, and it's holding a concert here this Saturday after having performed in Melbourne.
Now, here to tell us more is its Australian founder and artistic director, Brenna Wee, and its Singaporean founder and director of communications, Alexandra Serrenti. Welcome to the show to both of you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yes. All right, so let's. The concert is actually called Our Island Home. So let's listen to a bit of the Melbourne show.
It's great.
Beautiful melody there. I love the tabla, the use of the tabla in there as well. So tell us, it's called Our Island Home. How does the music reflect that, Brenna?
Well, it's an exploration of the concept of home. I think for many of us, home probably means the place you were born, where your parents live, and where you had grown up. But with the world becoming more and more getting smaller with globalization, the ease of travel and so on, we find that the concept of home is actually becoming quite complex. And, having lived, many of us live in multiple cities now. We work in different cities. We might have gone away to study and then return back to Singapore. And through those experiences, we actually change as people. And so the idea of home is not as straightforward as that. And this concert is about exploring that concept.
So that was part of the inspiration behind the actual theme?
Yes, that's right.
So spanning different countries.
That's right, yeah, because many of us, actually the three of us in the core team, Noella, who's our co-artistic director, myself and Alex, we had lived in many cities in the course of our journey, in studies as well as having family and so on. That experience has definitely changed us, and home is not just about being in a specific place. It's actually where for us it's quite a different concept, perhaps. Yeah.
Alex, sorry, you were going?
Oh, sorry. I was about to say that we often call Singapore the little red dot, that island in the middle of the sea. In some senses, we can think of Australia as a much bigger version.
A big red dot. Very big red dot.
That's right. But, even though they're ostensibly very different, they share a lot of similarities. Australia and Singapore are both future-directed countries. We don't have ancient civilizations that we can rely on to construct our identities. We have to find our own meaning. We have to find our own way. And because we are island nations, which are marked by migration from multiple sources, there's something very interesting about how identity is created. So partially it was an attempt to explore that as well.
Right. So Alex, one of the aims of this whole project is basically to promote cross-cultural understanding. How does music exactly promote that, get that point across?
Well, I often think of a quote by a famous French novelist, Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. He says, "Words are the source of misunderstandings." In some senses, music is a universal language. It doesn't pick out things which are specific. It forces us to listen in a way which is remarkably non-judgmental. And I think that's something quite special. Also, working on a project together, throws people into a situation in which sometimes we're caught off guard. We have to negotiate, how to play a particular phrase, how to work together, how to live together. So I think music is in some sense a vehicle for a broader engagement with ideas and life.
Brenna, were there many challenges at all with getting this musical ensemble together?
Well, in terms of the Singapore concert, yes, we had As you can imagine, we are a team of Australians as well as Singaporeans for this concert. And so the challenge of negotiating time zones is one of the initial ones, because we have a graphic artist in California. We have the Singapore team to negotiate with, and of course us in Melbourne. So we've had that kind of challenge, but at the same time it's just logistically a huge undertaking. Yeah, just organizing. But the wonderful thing about the whole experience is that technology is amazing nowadays. Like, we've had numerous conference calls that have just solved so many things easily. We use Zoom, Skype, and it's really made a huge difference. So at least through that, we have been able to get things together quite easily recently, and with emails and so on.
Always useful then.
Yeah, lots of late night Skyping.
Oh yes, that too. Yeah.
3 a.m. in the morning, I bet.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming in to share that with us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We've been speaking there to Brenna Wee and Alexandra Serrenti, the Australian and Singaporean founders of the musical ensemble Bridges Collective.